Hello, and thank you for joining Narration at the Beach. Tonight's recording brought to you by and as well as in case you couldn't hear, that's the ocean, moonlight, and slight breezes. Yes, that's right. But anyway, as you can probably tell, this is a break from standard operating procedure because I am not in Seoul. Yes, that's right. However, as I have been recording things and trying to stick to once-a-week delivery, I've got to give you guys something. So it'll have to be this. Moonlight, that wasn't very nice. Sorry, the moonlight's got a problem with the beach. Apparently, the beach called the moon fat once. Yeah, I know. Silly. But it's just kind of how it goes. Yeah, I'd like to give you guys some actual visuals to go along with this audio. But unfortunately, while my eyes are perfectly adjusted to a cloudless, full moon lit night, my camera can't handle it. So in the meantime, audio it is. You may have noticed the strange banging and voice noises in the background. That's the bar of the hotel, the beachside bar. It does close eventually, but for the time being they're watching football, or as us Americans sometimes say, soccer. Yes, that's right. Narrator is American, at least in this form. I've been a lot of different places. A lot of different times. A lot of different faces. And quite a few rhymes. You get it? Get it? Ha ha ha, narrator made it funny. There are some nice little cabana chairs. I should probably be recording set up at one of those, but they're too far from the ocean. And I don't want to get my tablet all sandy. Nothing worse than a sandy tablet. But let me ask you a question. How often do you try to think of what it was like when there was nothing? Think back. Further. Bit farther than that. Big Bang's a good start. A little further. Alright, stop right there. Now, you're probably thinking of darkness, of black. You see, that's a problem, because that's something. It is the lack of something which makes it identifiable as something. Darkness, lack of light, doesn't mean it's nothing. Now really think. What could nothing be? And you see, there lies the problem. As soon as you identify something that could be nothing, it becomes something. Because it's been identified. And I mean, maybe the word we use is nothing, but it is still a thing. So to truly imagine nothing, you can't look at it, you can't imagine it, you can't see it in your mind's eye, you can't try to name it. You just have to know it without knowing it. which can make it a little awkward. There's people walking behind me. Definitely not nothing. I might as well give you some further examples that I've been mulling over in terms of why nothing is actually a thing. Because someone can make something out of nothing. It can create something where nothing was before. Out of nothing. You can give someone nothing. You can take nothing from something. But wait, narrator. All of these things mean that nothing was there before, or that you didn't take anything from something else. Yes, but the saying exists, don't they? Take nothing from something. Build something out of nothing. And I mean, if you want to get Newtonian, you cannot destroy or create matter from nothing. But that still assumes that nothing is a lack of things. So, if you are capable of creating something from nothing, taking nothing from something else, giving nothing to someone else, if you are capable of doing these three things, who's to say that creating or destroying matter isn't simply giving it or taking it from a place that we can't imagine? Like they say, advanced technology appears to like magic to those who don't understand it. Rough paraphrasing. But if someone is able to produce something from nothing, to create something from nothing, to send something to nothing, well, nothing is just a place that they've identified, isn't it? Or a substance they've identified that we have not. And so, that Newtonian law is based on a concept that itself is based on a lack of knowledge. And it's the best we can do. It's the best we could do at the time. And it's pretty awesome. It's pretty good. It's a good start. But if we want to have magic, then we have to identify more nothings. I can't say that magic has ever been a driving force of my own actions. I've always been more of a science fiction, technology kind of person. But if advanced technology is actually magic, and magic is actually advanced technology, then science fiction and fantasy? Not so different as one might suppose. Maybe more just of an outfit thing. I mean, flowing robes and pointy hats and wands and stuff are not exactly science fiction, but the things they do with them have quite a bit of overlap. time travel, matter manipulation, mind control, telekinesis, or the appearance of it, telepathy, or the appearance of it, long-distance communication, unidentifiable power sources of vast capability, instantaneous travel from point A to point B, flight, super strength, invulnerability, flashy laser things. Yeah, so, where this all comes from is the idea that we can actually, or could be able to, create things from nothing, because we already do. It's just that when we say it, we don't mean it literally, in general, because we understand the process at some level as to how the thing that wasn't there before came to be. And to that end, think about artificial intelligence. Most people have said over the years that artificial intelligence is something that humans just can't possibly do. Then all of a sudden somebody did something like it. And everyone's like, well, it's just so very basic. And then they're like, oh yeah? Deep learning. Bam. And then everyone's like, wow. So now computers can identify parts of cars, even if they've never seen the car before. That's creepy. Yeah, now let's start applying it to voices. Oh boy. And now they're making music and writing articles and helping diagnose medicine. You see, that's something that really interested me about these stories I've been narrating, is that they're all rooted in reality. Each of the AIs brought up in that story either do exist or could exist in the next short while. We've already had was it an entire short film, or was it just like a movie trailer created by an AI? People are starting to feed concepts to AIs to see how they put things together and make it consumable by humans. And no, not everything's a success, but the fact that a computer can do that at all. When you think about some of the greatest artists of our times, they start with basic things that don't make any sense, and they end up with things that last for hundreds of years, or become cultural touchstones. And so if AIs are starting with ridiculous schlock now, yeah, everybody's gonna laugh, because that's what people do. But the scary thing to think about is how fast a computer can learn. We do a lot of thinking and calculating in our days, but if you are a machine built only for that purpose, and you can go through millions of computations a second, Think how quickly you could get better at a certain task. So that was the thing that really interested me about those stories, is that I find them completely plausible, especially since I've read that quantum computing has become a thing. Not widespread, but it exists on certain levels. And I mean, quantum computing just shoots computational power through the roof. I mean, as they say, you make a room full of monkeys sit down at typewriters and they'll eventually churn out the complete works of William Shakespeare. Think of a quantum computer as a room full of monkeys. Really big frickin' room full of monkeys. And if its task is to improve on a single artificial consciousness, think how quickly it could progress. And to us, I mean, it's like a blink of an eye, but to the computer, it could feel like centuries. It'd be interesting to figure out standard human thinking speeds and processes and comparing them to the speed and processes of computers. Because, you know, they say that a dog, every 7 years, or every year a dog ages in our time, it actually ages 7 years in dog years. So how quickly does a computer age compared to a human? Yeah, but the AIs he mentioned, Scribe does exist. Watson does exist. I don't know about Big Bird. I could see it, but... And what was the other one? Hendrix? The music one, the arts one. It's like I could see those things existing. Some of them do exist, I know, and I could see the other ones already existing. And I could see the AIs being much more powerful than anyone's been told, because computational power being what it is, and if the AIs are granted some access to crafting their own code or improving on it. I mean, if a computer program can identify a disease by scanning charts, I'm sure, given a complete history of coding, they could identify inefficiencies in their own code and improve on them much faster than a human. I mean, think how long it takes for you to read a page. A computer can do it in a blink of an eye. And that's basically code. Pages upon pages of numbers, text, coding characters. If a computer is shown what to look for, it can find it much faster than a human. And if it's told how things work, it can take guesses as to how to replace what it finds or improve on it. So that story kind of creeps me out on a deeper level, I guess, which is why I was so excited to read it. Yeah, like I said, this week is a Passover week because I'm on vacation. But I'm hoping to nab some sounds to add to the depth of the storytelling for part 4. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, that is a fishing boat. I think the term is trawler. Yeah, they've got these boats with lights on them, and I think the way it works is that they aim the lights at the water, and it attracts the fish to them, kind of like moths to a light bulb or insects. And then the fishermen just scoop them up in a net. I'm not sure what they're fishing for. I do know there are a lot of jellyfish in the water right now. We were told not to go in. And there's a sign that says, if you're not sure, stay out. But the ocean shore is nice.